Hey guys, welcome back to the Metamystic Show. I am filming this episode from my new house. I'm going to show a little clip at the end. I'll show you my studio and how it looks. I want to talk today about chasing your dreams. And there's so much to that. It's not a pie in the sky kind of a thing. If you have a dream, there is going to be conflict. 1:11 p.m. right now, as I'm saying that. Magician. The magician has all of the elements at his disposal, speaking of number one. And a lot of the time, we're going to have to be in that fire energy. We can receive an intuitive download, an idea. We can dream about the things that we want. The things that we want to accomplish, the things we want to have. We can visualize these things, right? But when it comes down to it, how do we actually get those things? And we can talk about the law of attraction, the law of assumption, right? Where you come into this belief, like this house, for example. I believe I manifested this house with the help of others through the law of attraction. We literally had on our board, on the refrigerator, the address. And every day I'd look at that and I would visualize myself in this house. Because there was a whole process that we had to go through to buy it. And while we were going through the process, lots of things can happen. And we literally were buying it during Mercury retrograde. So, Anyways, I'm really happy about the house, if you can't tell. And I'm just very grateful. So how do we do this stuff, right? Law of assumption is, for example, like maybe you guys have seen those videos that are like lucky girl affirmations, for example. One of many that we could look at. I personally like those. I don't care how corny they are. I'll put them on when I'm in the shower. I'm so lucky. Everything comes to me effortlessly, etc., right? I do believe that these laws, it's not about like believing that they work. We need to believe that they work. We need to believe that they work. It's not about believing if they work. It's the same thing as gravity, right? Gravity is gravity. If I take the stack of cards and I drop them, they are going to fall. That is a law of the universe. 9 of Wands, by the way. Now, let's get into this. How do we actually manifest our dreams, right? We have big dreams. A lot of us do. Even if it's something as simple as like, I would like to get a dog. I was listening to a girl, Libra Moon 777. I like her a lot. She's a tarot reader. And she talked about how she started manifesting her dog like 3 years ago. And finally, everything fell into place where she can now have a dog. And to somebody else, it might just be like, well, just get yourself a dog. But things are not that simple, as we know. There are a lot of moving parts to life. You want to start your own business? There's a lot that goes into that. So that's what we're really talking about today. And that's why I've entitled this episode, Through the Belly of the Beast. Right? Chasing our dreams, wait for it, no matter the cost. It's not for the faint of heart. Chasing your dreams. Through the belly of the beast is the phrase that came to me as I was pulling cards for this episode. And it reminds me of the story of Jonah and the whale. Jonah was running from his calling, essentially. And according to the folklore, the story, the Jewish parable of Jonah and the whale, Jonah was running from his calling to be a prophet to the city of Nineveh. And I don't want your eyes to glass over if you're not religious. Right? I'm not talking about religion. I'm just using it as an allegory. It's like we all know the story of Jonah and the whale. He was stuck in the belly of the whale for 3 days, right? It's like a holding pattern. Some of us are on that side of the scale. There's two kind of main categories, I believe, when it comes to following your dreams, chasing your dreams. And it is a chase. It is a pursuit. I don't chase, I attract. Well, there's always two sides to the same coin, right? There's masculine and feminine energy. There's attracting something in, and then there's the output of that energy going after something, putting in the tangible work, right? So it's always both. It's never one or the other, and if it's one or the other, we're out of balance, right? Okay, so back to the Jonah story. For some of us, we already know what our dreams are, right? And if you don't know, shameless plug, I'm going to put a link up here. I would love for you guys to join Chris Reck's DENT Makers program. I'm not sponsored by him or anything. I just really believe in what he's doing. And I don't have my own course or community when it comes to that sort of a thing right now. And for me, Chris's program is what I would recommend to people. Like, if you don't know how to truly put your dreams into action, I would suggest joining Dent Makers, because I really do just believe in it, Anyways, so sorry, I keep taking these deep breaths. I've had COVID, and I've actually been having a really hard time breathing. That's going on 3 weeks, where I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, okay. So if I stop and pause and breathe for a second, that's why. Aside from my brain just catching up with my actual flow of consciousness that I'm doing right now. All right. There are two categories, in my opinion, two main categories when it comes to chasing your dreams. There's the first part, which is like Jonah and the whale, where it's like a lot of us already know what we need to be doing or what we want to do. Take this for example. Say you want to write a book, and you know you need to write that book. But a lot of you are probably working on books as well. That's why I'm bringing it up. You already know that that's something that you want to do. But like Jonah, we run from that. We run from that calling. The universe will literally catch you inside of a whale for 3 freaking days so that you can slow down enough to get your shit together. That's category 1. Then there's category 2. People who are already on the road to their dreams. Like maybe you're already in the process. Like I'm meeting up with you on the road right now. The first category are people who know or are looking for it. Like we talked about dent makers. Like maybe you don't exactly know the things that you want to do and you're kind of figuring that out. That's that stage where the universe will kind of put you in this holding pattern, like inside of the belly of the beast, for you to gather that. It's kind of like having a spiritual awakening, where it's like spirit will slow you down enough. Sorry guys that I'm out of breath. Spirit, I honestly am like, did spirit give me COVID so that I could slow down enough and focus on doing the show? Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. Buy my merch, by the way, to support the show. All right, that's category 1. That's like the beginning phase, or you already know and you're running from it. Okay, we've all been there. I'm there currently with my book. Spirit's giving me COVID, so I slowed down enough to think about it. Okay. The second category is when we're already on the road. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, really, is through the belly of the beast, chasing our dreams, no matter the cost. Okay, now I want to read you something that I wrote. I wrote this little, I don't know what to call it, a little piece called The Dreamers, and I just want to read it to you really quick. If life feels hard right now, take that as a sign. Most are complacent, numb, unfeeling, and unchanging in rote behavior, not even knowing that they are trapped, like a lobster in a boiling pot, slowly fading. What are their dreams? Do they have any? Do you? Don't be like the wanderers who aimlessly wander without a map, hoping to bump up against destiny somehow. Write your own map. Let the universe guide your hand as you write. You will find the answers that you need right there. Turn your dreams into reality by consciously deciding to take the reins of your own life. And we talked about that on episode 1, taking the reins of your own life, taking control of your life. The universe will not force you to be a creator. It's your choice. We talked about the magician at the start of this, 111 as a sign. You have the free will to boil and slowly fade. And for some, that's enough. It's a comforting feeling to believe you have no control. But you? This is for the dreamers willing to go the distance. Through the belly of the beast we ride, taking the road less traveled. Interesting that I said load, like a heavy load, like the 10 of Wands. Maybe some of us feel like we are not able or capable of carrying this. Again, listen to episode 1. We talked about how you are able to go forward when you feel stuck. Through the belly of the beast we ride, taking the road less traveled. The darkest pathway of the moon into the sun. To be a guiding light and a marker to others looking for the same. Looking into the eyes without uttering a word. The message is known. We're on the right path. Through the belly of the beast we go, facing all of our fears, connecting present and past to find the answers. We will not back down. We will not go home. We will ride until we find the sun. The dreamers. I wrote that out on my porch this morning, on my new porch. In my old apartment, for those OGs that are on the Metamystic channel on YouTube, you'll know that I used to sit on my balcony on my 3rd floor apartment. Now I have this beautiful enclosed porch that I can sit out and do my readings, like my personal readings, I mean, like for me, connecting with my guides. Like that's where I wrote all of these notes for this episode. And for those of you who are listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, also watch me on The Metamystic on YouTube so you can like see all the visuals. And for those of you on YouTube, hi, thank you for being here. But I'm going to play a song that I wrote for you guys. I wrote this little piece for you for this week to encourage you that we are the dreamers. We're in this together. There are so many of us that are chasing our dreams, and we're going through the belly of the beast together. Even if it's just energetically, we are all in this like interconnected web of spirit, of consciousness, of oneness. I wrote a song for you guys called The Belly of the Beast. I'm going to play it at the end of this episode. All right, now let's get to the next part. For those listening, I'm getting out the storyboard. And yes, I have covered all of the nudity YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I've covered the nudity on the cards. Thank you. Hello. Hi. Thank you. Hello. Okay. Thank you. So here's what we got. These cards on the top, we have the Five of Wands, the Page of Wands. This is us. We're this Page of Wands here. And the Star. That was at the bottom of the deck. This is our backstory. This is through the belly of the beast. And now, as we're on the road, this is what we're experiencing. The Three of Swords, the Chariot, and the Sun. Now, the Sun and the Star coming out together, take it as it resonates. Some of you could be entering the public eye in some way. Or you're going to be known for something. Let me give a quick example, and we're going to get into all these cards and unpack the message. But I knew this lady years ago. She came over to America from Germany. Thick German accent. Kind of a rough lady, but she liked me, so I don't know. She was... I can't even put it into words. Like, she was the best baker that I've come across. I'm an avid baker myself, and I really appreciate when people can bake these amazing like pastries and things. She would come in with the most intricate, like all of the berries on top of like the most beautiful dessert. They were lined up so perfectly, and I'm a Virgo stellium, so I was just like, Lord Jesus, I'm home. I'm living. My point was saying this is she didn't have a bakery or anything. She just loved baking, and she would bring all these baked goods to church and just give them away. To me, that's Sun and Star. That's being known for something. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm gonna be on YouTube, or I'm gonna have my book on the New York Times bestseller list, and that's one of my manifestations. But even if it's just simple as like you want to be known for something, like she was. The way that I'm seeing these 6 cards here, they're like a parallel. They're like a parallel timeline. This 5 of Wands and 3 of Swords, to me, is this one and the same. Let's talk about these to start, because some of the hardest part of following our dreams, chasing after our dreams with all our hearts, is the conflict and the heartbreak. Now let's talk about it. Oh, Missy, why would there be conflict and heartbreak if I'm following my dreams? Well, that's why I've titled this episode Through the Belly of the Beast, because we're realists on this channel. We are realists here. We're not pie in the sky, follow our dreams. And then like 5 minutes later, after the $5,000 conference that you just went to, and you go to dinner after, and you pack up your stuff at the hotel and go home and just go back to your life and never do anything with it, right? And I'm saying that as somebody who's done that myself. Like, I have been in this game for years, right? I'm an old soul. I've done this many times. Okay. I don't know why I was going to that crazy accent, but... All right. 5 of Wands, 3 of Swords. Let's be serious, Missy. This is a serious matter. Okay. Let's start with the 5 of Wands. Now, when it comes to following our dreams, this is the training ground. 5 of Wands. You're not just gonna like get it. You're not just gonna like, take this for example. Okay. I'm a Virgo. I'm practical. Let's bring it down to earth. This YouTube channel, the Metamystic YouTube channel. I started this channel about 2 years ago now. For those of you who don't know, I had a previous YouTube channel that was an online ministry that I built from the ground up. I was a Christian minister for 10 years, and that channel was becoming very successful. I was putting out a bunch of music as well. Speaking of, I'm going to be playing my song at the end of this episode. Don't forget, stay tuned for that, because I wrote it just for you guys for this episode. And so, I don't want to go into my faith deconversion. If you guys are interested in hearing about that, you can listen to seasons 1 and 2 of the Metamystic Show to hear a lot about my backstory and like what the hell happened to me. How did I go from a Christian minister to where I am now, right? With y'all. And I love you guys. I'm so freaking happy to be here. You guys are freaking inclusive. I can be myself. I can swear. I can be queer. I can do whatever the hell I want. And you guys are just like, love ya. From when I came from the church, it was like, you're gonna burn in hell for all that. It's like, okay. Anyways, okay. Speaking of 5 of Wands, yeah, it took me a lot to get here. Yeah, 5 of Wands. This is like, to me, 5 of Wands is the training ground, right? If you are feeling tired, discouraged, like you're wondering why it's so hard to follow your dreams, well, you got it, kid. You're in the right place. Where's my rose? Where the hell's my rose? I need my rose for the prop. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? I also just ordered a new one, so this is a fresh one for the show. Okay. I forgot what bit I was doing. All right, I got distracted. Oh yeah. Come on, kids. You really are in the right place, though. If you are in this 5 of Wands, you are on the road to your dreams. I was going to say you're on the road to Damascus. Okay. Five of Wands is the training ground. Some could also call it an initiation. It's kind of like when you're the fresh meat and you come in, like say you're playing football. I don't know why Spirit always gives me sports analogies. I didn't play one damn sport in my life. I was chunky. I was sitting in my room with my guitar. Like, I wasn't playing sports. But anyways, say you are playing football and you're the fresh meat, right? Usually there's going to be some sort of like an initiation period. I would argue that this 5 of Wands is part of that. It's kind of like how many successful people have a story to tell, right? Like, oh, I went through all of these things, I overcame all of these things, and now I'm so-and-so, and I have this empire, and that's the 5 of Wands. There's also this 3 of Swords that goes along with that, and we're going to get to that in a second. Let's stick with the 5 of Wands here. This is a rite of passage of sorts, but it's not necessarily like Spirit is making you go through an initiation in order to get what you want. It's more like this is just part of it. Like, I was going to use the example of this channel. I started this channel 2 years ago, and I've been working on this channel every single day for 2 years, right? This stuff takes work. It takes effort. It takes consistency. I also have my TikTok. If you guys want to get readings over on my TikTok, I post on there every single day at the Metamystic. I'm growing my TikTok as well. I've been working on this channel and my TikTok for the past 2 years. It takes a lot. It's 5 of Wands. It's like this is the training ground. And a lot of the time, magic happens in the 5 of Wands. It's wands. Literally, like magic, a magic wand. It's like when you start getting in the game here and you start, like I did with this channel for 2 years, you start to realize, and it's only when you get this on hands training, 5 of Wands, many times, if it's just cerebral, if it's just in the mind, if it's just the intuitive download of, I want to write a book, I want to have a YouTube channel, and it's exciting, Page of Wands, and you're like, oh my God, this is my dream, this is what I want to do. Page of Wands is a very excitable character, and we'll get to him in a minute. But there is this period, and it's not really a period, it's the whole thing. Like, we'll always be in the Five of Wands. My point with this is that this is where the innovation happens. Five of Wands is where we kind of get our hands dirty. We start to figure out like, oh, okay, first I started out doing this. Let's just take YouTube as an example, because I'm on YouTube and hello, here we are. Say you start off with like, oh, I'm going to do collective tarot readings. But then you realize like, wait, I kind of like doing all the signs. I'm going to do zodiac readings instead. But you never would have figured that out if you were not in the Five of Wands, getting your hands dirty, in the training ground, boots on the ground, figuring things out like as you're doing them. Okay, now let's get to this Three of Swords. Now, oftentimes while we're in this stage, and like I said, we're always changing, growing, and expanding, and if we're doing things right, we will be in the Five of Wands for the rest of our lives, because iron sharpens iron. When we are around other people in this growth, we will always continue to expand and grow and get better and better and better and better. So we should always be striving to be in this training ground, like a boot camp of sorts. But what happens when we're in there? That's hard enough, you know? This takes a lot of heart. Speaking of heart, we have the Three of Swords. Now, when we're here, when we're in this Five of Wands, you're going to have family, friends, old coworkers, your own damn mind. That's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, YouTube channel? Shouldn't you like go into IT or something? And you know, honestly, if I were to suggest something, I would suggest going into IT, because anyways. But it's like, when we're in that mode of building our dreams with the Five of Wands, we're going to have people not understand it. And we're even going to have a lot of people be like, no offense, but like, what are you doing? Like, I'm actually kind of concerned for you even. And that is heartbreaking. And it's more than heartbreaking, it's just disheartening. It's kind of just like an extra thing to deal with when we're in this Five of Wands. But even when people don't understand us, I almost said when people can't stand us. Some of you may even be dealing with that, where it's like people will be jealous of you and lashing out at you because you're doing something that they feel is like a pipe dream. You may be triggering something in other people, and also be aware of that. Like, why don't people support me? Why are people like literally tearing me down? Well, let's just take a second. Put on some lip gloss, right? And understand the complexity of the universe. It's like, it's not about you, it's about them. For many people, they didn't follow their dreams, and you're triggering that in them. And so they might come at you like, oh, I'm just concerned for you, you know, that you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to fall flat on your face. It's like, okay, thanks. Anyways, stop projecting, and I'm going to get back to my path, which is this Page of Wands. But here's the kicker. It's not just the Page of Wands. And remember, this is the parallel lines that we talked about at the beginning of this episode, these two rows of cards. It's not just the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is coming through this belly of the beast with the Five of Wands. He's traveling through the how do I even say this, spirit? Like, it just takes a lot. It's like training. It's like training to play football well, like we talked about at the start. I don't know why this keeps coming through to me as football right now. But it's not just the wands. Like, he's very excitable. He follows his dreams with passion, right? He's following his North Star with the star card here. He's looking for the path. Like, he's on the road and he's following his heart and he's passionate. But it's not just that. It's deeper than that. And that's why we have this chariot here. And with the chariot, the chariot also comes with a victory. The chariot isn't just forward movement like the Page of Wands. The chariot is like a blast of water. Speaking of Jonah and the whale, the chariot is like it's like the power of the ocean, the power of the waves blasting forward. That is the force that comes from the heart space. And yeah, Three of Swords, it can be a painful card. You know, you may be sleeping under the proverbial stars, the Page of Wands laying under the stars at night, thinking about all the people that he's left behind in the city, the chariot. It is an emotional card. It is a painful card when we realize that 1:44 on my clock right now, that I don't want to say that everybody's not chosen, but there is a specific passage in the Bible that came from the mouth of Christ where he said, many are called, but few are chosen. And what that really means in the Greek, it translated more properly, is many are called, but few receive that call. Few are willing to do what you are willing to do. Everybody's chosen. Everybody's called, but not everybody is willing to go through the belly of the beast. So back to this chariot, Three of Swords, you could be feeling sad that you're literally leaving like your old life behind with the chariot, because this emotional power, this is a Cancer energy, and Cancer is the fourth house, right? Cancer is about the home, about the family. So with this water, this powerful cardinal water energy, it's almost as if we don't have a choice. It's like the power of our heart, the power of our passion, and the combination of the wands and the cups, like the water, the emotion, the intuition, the knowing, the power of where we're being led, combined with that fiery wands energy of like the passion, like I need to do this. It's like there's fire in my bones. That's where we're at right here. Those are the people that I'm talking to right now. There are somber moments or sober moments that we experience when, you know, we're laying under those stars and we realize that there were sacrifices that need to be made, and maybe they're not sacrifices that you made, but they're things that fell away. Like as the chariot driver is driving away from his city, he is leaving everything behind. And for many of us, in order to pursue our dreams, that's just part of the gig, right? And there's also an element of feeling misunderstood and kind of alone. And, you know, first of all, you're not alone, because there are 5 people on this Five of Wands. There are always people, and 555 on my timer as I'm saying this, there are always people that are in this training ground with you, right? Even if they're not physically with you, you can find people all over the world. Like if you just look on YouTube, look on TikTok, there are people just like us, just everyday people who are chasing their dreams with all their hearts, that are going through the belly of the beast, that are challenging their fears, that are standing up for themselves, really, like, and just by default. It's not like you have to even say anything. It's like your life lived is the message. You are the message. And for a lot of you, your dreams are the message. So it's like as you're living out your dream, it's like an automatic that other people are going to be inspired by that. And usually that just comes, there's always an inspirational element that comes along with dreamers. The dreamers, like I wrote that piece, that I read earlier. Now, finally, we're going to get to this sun card. And then I'm going to play my song at the end of this, Belly of the Beast. And I talk in that song about this sun card. The lyrics are, "Into the sun I ride. The child is waiting." And what I meant by that is this child on this sun card. This is us. You could almost say that the star is the grown-up version of the baby on the sun. Again, it's these parallels. It's like as we're on the road, we're chasing our dreams as adults. Page of Wands, star. There's this other side of things where it's like as we're moving forward with the chariot driver, it's our emotions, it's our past, it's that Cancer energy, it's our home. It's who we are. It's the inner child, the child on the sun card. It's like as we're living out our dreams, we're living out the dream of this child. Kyle Cease talks a lot about the inner child and how it's like this little kid is really who's running the show. And we could look like adults, like on the star card. This woman is a full-grown woman here. We could look that way and people will see us following our dreams and it's passionate and they're inspired by us and those are all wonderful things. But on the flip side, it's really this child. It's really the inner child in the sun, in the bright light of life. It's like you're living in the light when you are following your dreams, when you're chasing your dreams with all your heart, that you're willing, no matter the cost, to do what you need to do, to lose people that you need to lose even, in order to continue to chase your dreams. That is you honoring this child. The child is waiting and the child is within you. Let's honor the child. Let's honor the inner child and pursue our dreams. With the sun just comes ultimate happiness, light, source, connection to source. I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. Remember, if you'd like to also listen to this episode, like if you're in your car or something, you can also listen to this episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts under The Metamystic Show. And for those of you listening, you can also watch this episode on The Metamystic on YouTube. So thank you all for being here. If this work is benefiting you and you want to help support what I'm doing here, there's a couple ways you can do that. First of all, subscribing, liking, commenting, YouTube currency, as we know. Would love to read your comments, to hear from you guys. Also, if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can answer some of those on the next episode. But another way to support the channel is to buy merch. I have these coffee mugs and I literally use these every single day. Like, this is not just me selling crap from like wish.com, Love and Light, or like Alibaba or something. This is a cup that I use every single day for my iced coffee. So I know for a fact, and I've used this cup for a while, so it like lasts. Anyways, just saying, for those of you who actually want to know if this is like junk or not, it's actually a nice cup. And also these shirts, I'm selling these. And what else do I have on there? Oh yeah, I have that glass cup that I use for water. I drink water out of that every morning. So you can buy merch. You can also donate if you guys want to help me to buy a new camera, if you want to help me get new lighting, a new microphone. This is for people that want to help support this work in a more tangible way, and I really appreciate it, guys. I love you all so much, and for everybody else, thank you just for being here as well, and I will see you on the next one. And here's my song, Belly of the Beast. Because you broke my heart, it's time to go. No need to play along for another go. The reins will guide me, and I'll glide through. The hands will hold me, investing all I knew. Guess it wasn't a waste, all of this pain, after all. Grains of sand in my eyes, page of wands like dynamite. More like Jonah in the belly of the beast, kind of like a dream where you lose all your teeth. God, I hate those dreams, but the sound of the crack through my chest, I did my best, my ribs, life's xylophone. Where do I go next? Into the sun I ride, the child is waiting. I will sleep well tonight, where sunflower petals intertwine. Despair isn't so daunting when you know there's an end. The child knows the answer to the question never asked. How do I get through the belly of the beast and get back to the beach, to collecting pieces of me? Oh, how do I get through the belly of the beast and get back to the beach, to collecting pieces of me? Oh, how do I get through the belly of the beast and get back to the beach, to collecting pieces of me? Hey guys, I'm really excited to show you my new studio. I have a door now. Okay. Isn't she beautiful? I have my piano in here, all my guitars. Look at this. Bro, I am seriously so grateful. Like, I'm gonna get down on my knees. And not in that way, you know what I'm saying? You know, I am so grateful to the universe for where they have brought me. I just went from an apartment into a full house, And now I have a beautiful studio with a door that I can close for privacy. I'm really just like floored at how the universe always pulls this shit off, to be honest with you. I've had so many situations like this in my life. This is one of many experiences I've had just like this, where it's almost like the way that these things happen, they're so normal feeling that you almost like do a double take. Like now that I'm in this house and I've been here for a few days, I'm like, how did I get here? Like I have a yard. I just went from a city to having a yard, to having my own studio, to having this huge house. Well, it's huge to me. Because I went from a two-bedroom apartment to a house. And so I just wanted to show you guys that if you are hoping for something, give it up to the universe and just release how it's going to happen. And I know that spiritual people say that a lot, like, oh, just detach. It's, it's the law of attraction, where you decide what you want and then you release it. I know that's something that we say a lot, but I think that our human brains overcompensate when trying to figure out, yeah, but how? How am I going to get into a house? The universe knows how to pull the strings where they need to pull it. Oftentimes from the most unlikely sources, these things will come together. So I just want to stand with you right now, and if you are wanting something new in your life, I'm going to join my belief with yours right now that will come to pass for you in whatever way that needs to happen. I love you guys. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. This is what we're doing today. Showtime.